Today, I will be talking about one of the greatest loves of my life, the axolotl. I am obsessed with them. Probably a little too much, but it's for a good reason. The first axolotl I ever hatched was this guy right here, Duke. I got him in egg form through the mail from Susie Q. Susie sent me a total of 20 eggs, 17 of which hatched. I learned fast what it was like to be a mother to 17 needy children, and I absolutely loved it. Duke stood out though. Right out of the egg, he attached to me like he was a duckling. He would be in the closest corner of his tank watching me all day. He'd eagerly swim to the top when I approached the tank. He'd ask for hand feeds and head pets. When he got a little bigger, he would even launch himself out of his tank and slide himself across the desk to be closer to me. He's always been a strange duck, but love makes you do crazy things sometimes. When Duke was about a year old, he started laying around a lot. I did a lot of research and learned that axolotls do not like to be alone and will begin to exhibit signs of depression. So, I got him a friend. A beautiful leucistic female friend. He was very excited to have this new friend. So much so that a few months later their tank was filled with hundreds of eggs. As a grandmother-to-be, I was over the moon. I collected all the eggs and decided to hatch them. When all grand ducklings were counted, I had hatched 157 axolotls. Yep, you heard that right. I gave myself a problem. I didn't realize it at first though, because they were so tiny. But as they grew and needed bigger tanks, that's when the oh shit hit my brain. How am I going to rear 157 axolotls with all limbs accounted for? Well, it started with Brian building this nifty rack. It'll hold 24 juveniles on a 20 long sump, which can hold more babies. I also had fry boxes hanging on the cooler tanks, and we set up more tanks for the overflow. There were tanks on tanks on tanks on tanks on fry boxes on its own standalone rack of axolotls. It was awe-inspiring and a little mad, but it worked. We had very few Lieutenant Dans, and rearing them in warrens made them more social and interacting. Finding new homes for that many, though, was the next hurdle. Through online sales, fish swaps, local meetups, it took us 14 months to rehome them all. I loved having so many little monsters around, but that many was a labor of love on my part. Going forward, I decided I would be hatching more responsibly. Now, each season, I only hatch 60 eggs total. That is a much more manageable amount for myself. We just completed our 4th season of hatching axolotls, and I see no end in sight. It's easy to get carried away with the first spawn, but with axolotls capable of laying between 200 and 800 eggs per season, I highly advise you to hatch responsibly too.